masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this.
Hello and welcome to the Southern View. Lots lined up this evening, including that fierce face-off in Parliament. Namaskaram, namaskara, baunara, nalarkingla vasudha.
Varagambira, namaskar to all our viewers. Suspensions and a fierce face-off in the Parliament will be our top focus this evening. We'll also focus on Mamata Banerjee's SIR battle. But first up, the headlines.
Rahul Gandhi attacks the government over the Indo-US trade deal, says the Prime Minister was under pressure. Piyush Goyal hits back, says Rahul Gandhi is spreading lies.
Madras High Court Judge Justice Anand Venkatesan enters the language imposition controversy now. He has said that Tamilians are not against learning any language, but we will never accept language imposition. Tamil language is our identity.
Embarrassment for Pakistan after the T20 tantrums. Pakistan reaches out to multiple cricket boards, snubbed by all cricket boards, called Pakistan's decision irrational. Well, first up this evening was the suspension of 8 Congress MPs for the rest of the budget session after unruly protests by the opposition MPs dominated the Lok Sabha today. The protest by Congress MPs was triggered as leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi was not given a chance to discuss and raise again the excerpts from former Army Chief Naravane's yet to be published book, which allegedly raises questions over the political leadership's indecision during the confrontation with China.
That's right, Veera. In fact, he has now written to the Speaker as well, saying that this is a blot on Indian democracy. While the BJP had protested against the leader of opposition quoting from a yet-to-be-published book, the Congress has accused the BJP of misusing parliamentary rules to muzzle the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, from raising a serious issue of national security. Rahul Gandhi even gave an undertaking today for the authenticity of the article that he was quoting from. But Congress MPs allege that since he and other India bloc parties were not allowed to speak, they trooped to the well in protest and threw papers at the Speaker. Following this, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister moved a motion of suspension for 8 MPs.
Vasudha, the question is about rules, national security and General Naravane's book itself, but also about whether this confrontation will overshadow any business in this session of Parliament.
That's right, Veera. Several questions here which we will pose to our special panel this evening. But first, let's listen in to the exchange that took place in the Parliament earlier today.
Please be serious note of the misconduct of Sri Manikam Tagore, Sri Amrinder Singh Raja Waring, Sri Gurjit Singh Aulia, Sri Hebi Edin Prashant, Padole, Sri Dean Karyokos, S. Venkatesh and Kiran Reddy in utter disregard to the House and the authority of the chair through reaching to the table of Secretary General and other officers in the well of the House and throwing papers on the chair and having been named by the chair, resolved that the above mentioned members may be suspended from the services of the House for the remainder of the session under Rule 3742.
हमारी सांस नाली पर हाथ रख दोगे, हमें सांस नहीं आएगा तो क्या करेंगे? हम क्या करेंगे? बताओ, हमने कोई गुनाह किया है? हमने एक पेपर पाड़ कर अपना विरोध में अगर किसी ने जताया है तो इसका मतलब आप हमें सजा दोगे? आप हमें बोलने दीजिए। हम सम्मान करते हैं, चेयर का सम्मान करते हैं, पार्लियामेंट का सम्मान करते हैं, रूल एंड रेगुलेशन को मानते हैं, लेकिन आपको ये गलत नहीं करना चाहिए था जो आपने हमारे साथ किया है। ये सरासर जास्ती है, धक्का है। कौन सा ऐसा बॉम्ब था? आप उसका जवाब दे देते राहुल गांधी।
Well, let's not forget, Veera, that today saw another big face-off over the Indo-US trade deal, which the government hailed as a huge success and the Congress has declared as a sellout. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has blamed Congress MP and leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, for not letting the government share details about India-US trade deal in the Parliament because of the ugly scenes that were created by MPs.
That's right, Vasudha. Parliament apart, Rahul Gandhi had earlier in the day alleged that the trade deal has been finalized under pressure, virtually accusing the Prime Minister of selling out national interest and questioned the tariff concessions and alleged that the Prime Minister was under pressure. Piyush Goyal, though, hit back at the opposition. Let's listen in to that exchange.
Trade deal जो ट्रेड डील 4 महीने से रुकी हुई थी 4 महीने से कुछ बदला नहीं। किसी ना किसी कारण, जो मैं जानता हूं नरेंद्र मोदी जानते हैं, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कल शाम उस डील को साइन कर दिया। नरेंद्र मोदी जी पर प्रेशर है, भयंकर प्रेशर है, और नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जो इमेज का गुब्बारा है, जो हजारों करोड़ रुपए लेकर बनाया गया था, वो फूट सकता है।
राहुल गांधी जी को क्या मिर्ची लगती है? राहुल गांधी जी को देश की प्रगति से नफरत है? राहुल गांधी जी को हमारी बहनों से, हमारे युवा युवतियों से कोई नाराजगी है, जो उनका उज्जवल भविष्य उनसे देखा नहीं जाता है? उन्होंने जवाब देना पड़ेगा देश की जनता को कि इस नकारात्मक सोच के पीछे वो क्या चाहते हैं। और मित्रों, मैं पूरी तरीके से निंदा करता हूं राहुल गांधी जी और उनके सभी पार्टी और मित्र पक्ष के नेताओं का, जो इस प्रकार की ओछी सोच, नकारात्मक सोच फैलाने का पाप कर रहे हैं।
Well, joining us now is one of the suspended Congress MPs, Manikam Tagore. Thank you, Mr. Tagore, for your time. Sir, not just disruptions, suspensions are back yet again. This used to be, something that we saw 2 years ago, but that is really worrying. The government says that there's a way to protest, and it's only because of the opposition that the country today does not know what the details of the trade are. How do you look at this?
Yeah, thank you. When the king is arrogant, when he becomes more arrogant, this kind of things happens. 2 years before also it has happened. People then made the king to realize that it is not 303, it is not 400 par, it is 240. Now again it has come back. Let us speak about that later. But the question is that the opposition leader, Rahul Gandhi ji, was not allowed to speak the whole day yesterday. He was asked to give authentication of the book which he was referring. It is not the Pakistan general's book. It is Indian general Narwaneji's book, and a page of it he was referring. And today he has given it in authentication also to the letter in the floor. I only gave it to the Secretary General. And he was not allowed to speak. Rahul Gandhi's speech, Congress party's allocated time was 4 hours. And he was not allowed to speak more than 7 minutes. Whole discussion, Mr. Gandhi's speech was stopped. Then they moved on to ask TMC members. They asked Samajwadi members. Then they asked DMK members. Everybody refused it. Then only we got angry.
No. So you say...
And because of that, only this reckless happened.
No. You say only then you got angry. But does that justify your behavior at some level, Mr. Manikam Tagore? Does that justify the unruly behavior? Which, do you believe in hindsight that the protest could have been perhaps a little more in order with the House?
A very good question, Veera. The main thing is that we had been very decent. Yesterday we were very decent. Today we are very decent. We wanted that the speaker should not be pressurized by the parliamentary affairs minister to do it. And if you see it, the speaker was not in the chair. The chair was, another person was asked to, the panel of chairmen was there. They are pressurizing the chair to things which is not acceptable to the speaker himself. We need to understand that parliament has some procedures. I am in parliament for the 12th year now. I have seen leader of opposition like Sushma Swaraj, how she was treated. He used to refer many quotes of many kind of books and others. She was allowed. Then Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was a floor leader. He was allowed. Rahul Gandhi 1 year before was allowed. Now he is not allowed. Okay. Why this discrimination? Suddenly, why this anger against Mr. Gandhi?
What happened?
Why they are stopping Mr. Gandhi from saying about the truth? That's the question we are asking. 240 Lok Sabha MPs are opposition MPs. Our voice is the opposition leader. And he's from Congress party, but all of us, the India Alliance, are together in that.
Yeah, there was a rare show of
TMC members
unity
refused
also.
to speak.
There was a rare show of unity because not just DMK, TMC, even Samajwadi Party MPs refused to speak. But Mr. Tagore, my question to you is what happens next? You're one of the 8 suspended MPs. You'll not be allowed to enter the floor of the House tomorrow. What do you plan to do? How is the party going to take this forward?
We will, all the 8 MPs will sit in Makardwar with the constitution in our hand, and we will protest silently in Makardwar. We will continue to ask for justice because this is an attack on democracy without opposition leader's speech in President's address. The motion to thank Honorable President. India's parliament has never functioned like this. Without zero speech of the opposition leader, you can't have the Prime Minister's reply. And you can't have pass a resolution on thanking motion to Honorable President. You are insulting Honorable President itself in that way.
So when you're saying that you're going to protest outside at Makardwar, what happens inside the Lok Sabha? Do you believe that this session is going to be virtually dominated by this confrontation? Or do you believe that there will be a semblance of discussion and business that could play out on perhaps crucial issues, including the allegations that you have made, your party has made on the Indo-US trade deal? All that, will that get reflected inside Parliament, or do you see this confrontation playing out?
We need to understand that this US-India deal is a failed deal. Just hearing Mr. Piyush Goyal's statement, any government will accept $500 billion purchases with zero duty, zero tariff. American products are going to be sold in India, $500 billion of products with zero tariff. Right. What Mr. Piyush Goyal is speaking about it. And our products will be given charged with 18%. What trade minister he is? He's complete. He should have resigned by this time.
So Mr. Tagore,
and they are not ready to take that responsibility.
Right. Mr. Tagore, today was an important day because, all of us were waiting to hear from the government on the Indo-US deal, because some of the concerns that many of the opposition leaders have raised are also sort of striking, and everybody wants to know what is the truth. So why is the leader of opposition insistent on talking about this article, which also is important, but still today he could have chosen to speak on what is more relevant today, isn't it?
Is it not a injustice you are doing to the leader of opposition? He is not referring a book by the Pakistani general. He is referring a book by the Indian general, Nanavati. And we need to understand he's a celebrated general. He's alive now. And he is there. He has wrote second book of his part is there. For why this arrogance of this government? What they are trying to hide from the whole game? What is the mistake the opposition is doing? Opposition asking for a debate to be there. And we are ready to authenticate that. All the rules opposition is following. But suddenly the government is becoming arrogant and they wanted to bulldoze it. They don't want discussion. They don't want the parliament to function. They wanted to just close the parliament discussions. The ministers are not ready for any negotiations. For your, if you know that there was a meeting with the Honorable Speaker where K.C. Venugopalji and Gaurav Gogoi and the ministers were part of it. They asked that leader of opposition must authenticate.
Okay. No,
we accepted it. We submitted the authentication. After that, they are not allowing him to speak.
Okay. Point taken in terms of raising the issue and the question of authentication. It's been mentioned and stated. It's the question of whether it was in business. That's also been discussed in terms of rules and procedures. And also the gravity of the issue is taken into account, as is the gravity of the issue of the Indo-US deal and the allegations that's made. My very last question to you very briefly, do you see any substantial discussion on the way forward, or do you believe this confrontation is going to be what we are going to see for the rest of the budget session? Very briefly, yes or no answer before we go ahead.
Parliament must allow the leader of opposition to speak. In Parliament, Lok Sabha should allow the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha to speak on the motion to thank the Honorable President of India's address to the Parliament. That basic thing should be done.
If that's not done, then the confrontation will continue, and perhaps we would see more confrontation, less conversation in Parliament.
Do you see more suspensions, Mr. Tagore? Do you anticipate more suspensions?
You should ask Kiran Reju, because he is very happy to suspend all of us, because he reads out our names very happily. We wish Mr. Kiran Reju all the best. Joshi was doing this thing, and now Kiran Reju is doing this thing now.
All right, on that note, thanks very much there, Mr. Manikam Tagore. We will be outside Makardwar tomorrow protesting. Let's see what tomorrow has.
With the Constitution.
With the copy of the Constitution
in hand. We'll see what tomorrow has in store inside Parliament. Thanks very much for joining us there. Vasudha, now moving on to what next in this face-off. Is it time for everyone to get to read General Naravane's book and have a substantial debate on its contents? Where does this confrontation leave us? That's happening in Parliament right now. Joining us this evening, Rohan Gupta, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, National Spokesperson of the Congress, Rashid Kidwai, Senior Journalist and Author, Tushar Gupta, Political Analyst. In a bit, we'll also have an ex-Army voice join us, Lieutenant General Raj Shukla. But for the moment, to the political debate of the day. Let me start with you, Rohan Gupta. You just heard Manikam Tagore saying there that the leader of opposition has not been allowed to speak, despite abiding by the rules and procedures, and hence the opposition MPs had no option but to have that unruly protest in Parliament, and suspension is a way of muzzling their voice. How do you respond?
It was really unfortunate, and I was surprised to see a member of Parliament speaking something which is not as per the rules of Parliament. The Parliament clearly is run by the rules and regulations. The rule number 349 clearly states whether leader of opposition or any member, he or she can speak only related to the business of the House. And in case he wants to refer to anything which is outside the purview of the business of the House, he can refer priorly to speaker and take his permission or consent. If you don't want to follow the rule, Vasudha, and always complain that I'm not allowed to speak, this is Parliament. This is not Congress House. You have to follow the rules and regulations. And you tell me Congress is doing this ruckus since yesterday. You tell me I'm challenging them. Have they questioned the interpretation of rule by speaker? No. They are not answering the basic question that what is the rule number 349. Have they followed the rule number 349? The answer is no.
Right.
And then again making accusations, no, I am not allowed to speak. See, this issue of China, they have raised again, now and again for 100 times. And the narrative is very clear in minds of people.
But Rohan Gupta, today Rahul Gandhi has also authenticated what he wanted to speak. This has not happened for the first time. I remember when he wanted to show the picture of Guru Nanak, or even a picture of all the secretaries, he was trying to prove a point that bureaucracy is upper caste centric. Several ministers stand up. They point out to problems in his speech. This also, gives some credence to the opposition's narrative that the leader of opposition his speech is being muzzled. I'm not saying that's true, but it also amplifies that narrative. So shouldn't the Treasury benches slightly be careful with this?
This is what they want. They don't have issues. He could not speak anything on budget. So obviously they wanted something to create nuisance in Parliament, and this is they are trying to do. My question number one is whether they have followed rule number 349 or not. Second, how can you authenticate something which is not published? It is under the permission. We have, as per Indian Constitution, any ex-army general or major or any officer, he wants to publish the book, the clearance needs to be taken. Right?
Is the permission given? Let me get Mohan Kumar Mangalam to respond to you. Mohan Kumar Mangalam, go ahead. You heard what Rohan Gupta had to say. Was the confrontation A, absolutely necessary? B, was the extent to which the MPs went justified? And C, where does this leave us?
Vanakkam Veera, Vanakkam Vasudha. It's a very unfortunate day. I think yesterday the leader of opposition was not allowed to speak, and as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister said, he asked him to authenticate the document. If Rohan Gupta knows the rules of procedure in Parliament, it's the Member of Parliament himself who actually testifies in a way to the veracity of what he's putting on the table and then puts it on the table in Parliament. That's the version of authentication. Authenticating something that's not been published, first of all, it has been published. It's not being allowed to be circulated once being published by the publisher because the Ministry of Defense is uncomfortable with some of the things that's said in the book. That's as far as it goes. Now, the business of the House. This is a reply to the President's speech, which actually allows by convention the widest gamut of topics to be discussed in response. In fact, the President's speech talks about national security, and this very subject that Mr. Gandhi was going to talk about relates directly to national security. So where is this interpretation of business of the House being left? And, it's true, the Speaker has discretion in this matter, goes without saying. It's just unfortunate that he's using his discretion in this bipartisan matter. I mean, the one who really comes out looking bad in this entire episode is the Speaker of the House. The fact that you will try and dictate what a leader of opposition is going to say or muzzle his voice completely is unfathomable in a democracy. It just shows that how every institution from governors down are being destroyed in this country.
Okay, let me ask this question to Rashid Kidwai. Mr. Kidwai, the fact is I was also waiting for some clarity on the US trade deal. Now it looks like the opposition is there's going to be a standoff there. Do you think Rahul Gandhi could have used a different approach today, considering that today was different from rest of the days?
So Vasudha, we must understand that the job of running the house is primarily of treasury benches of the government. So it is government that should, negotiate with the opposition and run the house. Now there seems to be trust deficit, particularly since June 14 to June 4, 2024, when the new 18th Lok Sabha was constituted. The either not allowing a book yet to be published, to be discussed in Parliament, which is there featured in a magazine, or suspension of members of Parliament, it bad optics. It reflects very poorly on the government. It's the same thing when Rajiv Gandhi government tried to ban, satiric verses, Salman Rushdie's book, and it got very bad press. It got very bad optics. The BJP, at that time was the opposition and championed the cause of, free speech. General Naravne is a very respectable person. Your NDTV, you have shown a series of comments where he's distanced himself to where you see. I've read that the portion that's been carried by Kalwan, where it clearly says "Jo uchit ho wo kahiye." So the Prime Minister has not kind of by any stretch of imagination compromised the national security, and this should have been allowed to be debated. Unpublished work. There are a lot of Vasudha. I'm a journalist. A lot of things. Other day I wrote P. Shankar's yet to be published memoirs published by NDTV portal. So that's a very much part and parcel of journalistic.
So let me take this question. Sorry to interrupt you there, Rashid, because you're making an important point. Let me take this question across to Tushar Gupta. Tushar, given that the book is yet to be published and that the government can come out with the facts and try and reiterate its position, why are they allowing a conversation around the excerpts to be muzzled in the way it is instead of coming out with categorical clarity and combating with it? Because the more you have this kind of a confrontation, the more it yields to the narrative that the government has something that it doesn't want to share.
Good evening, Veera. Good evening, Vasudha. The article Rahul Gandhi has been attempting to quote for the last 2 days. Everyone in the country who wanted to read that article has already read it.
Yes.
The problem is that Rahul Gandhi is selectively quoting 4 lines from a 40-page article in which the article itself selectively quotes from a book that is unpublished. Now, if Rahul Gandhi wants to talk about the Kailash range and what was the Prime Minister's call to the general and how he told them that, you should take a decision that you deem appropriate, he's well within his right to do that. But then within the article, it also states that after the entire decision-making process, after the standoff, the Indian side actually gained a tactical advantage in the Kailash range. So will Rahul Gandhi talk about that? We don't know.
No, so you talk about it. Why? Let him say what he wants to say. Let the government counter with it.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you, Veera. That is something the government can respond with. Yeah. Number 2, the other person mentioned in that article, Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi, interestingly, he has a published work and he talks about one of the operations in Eastern Ladakh, and he says that we had a face-off. Some pro-co operations were launched after Galwan, and within the Kailash range, eventually the PLA was defeated and we gained an upper hand. Somehow the BJP or the Congress do not want to quote that memoir also. See, it's been 2 days. We are stuck at the same thing. Rahul Gandhi has to understand, if purely going by the rule book, he cannot quote from an unpublished book, but if he wants to really quote from that article, be very clear that this is the article I want to quote from, this is what it says, and the BJP needs to respond to that. It's that simple.
Rohan Gupta, the government is in the process of doing away with a lot of rules of the past, right? So that's also seen as Jan Vishwas. So I do feel that, this insistence on rules sometimes gets too tiring. I want to just ask you this one question that Rashid was also pointing to. Anyone who has read this article also knows that it's alleged that the political will, said, jo uchit hai wo kijiye. So it didn't look too negative to me. By making it clear that they don't want Rahul Gandhi to speak, isn't the government trying to sort of set everybody against the opposition, or at least make Rahul Gandhi seem like he's saying something something that can expose the government?
See, Vasudha, I think your answer is in your question itself. When we read the statement or the excerpts of the book, when we know that there is nothing that which is against government technically, and same General Narawane has clearly told in 2021 that China has not taken a single inch of our land. Where is the question for
then
government?
why are you not letting him speak? Let him speak and expunge what you think is problematic.
You cannot change the rule. The parliament, again, it's a temple of democracy. It's a constitutional process. Let them follow the rule. Something which is not published. Again,
So he's authentic.
it is not in India. It's a process. Then let me complete. Just give 30 seconds.
No.
It is India. In India, it's process that the permission needs to be taken. Right? Once it is published, definitely you should discuss it out. This is not the first time that China issue is discussed in parliament and no narrative has been set. Why at this juncture? When you have to answer to the address of the president on budget, that's a rule of the business of the house. Why you could not speak anything on that?
Okay, 30 seconds to Mohan Kumar Mangalam before I go to Lieutenant General Raj Shukla specifically on his thoughts on this. Go ahead, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, 30 seconds to you.
Rule number 349 says nothing about publishing or unpublished works. If you talk about authenticity or authenticating, it is up to the member of parliament to testify to the veracity of it. He can authenticate it and put it on the table of the house. Do not talk when I'm talking, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's go to the second point he's making. I'm glad he's leading me into it, which is business of the house. I'm repeating myself when I'm saying that in replying to the president's speech, we discussed national security. What he was talking about was very much business of the house. So you can move the goalpost as much as you like. He's well within his rights either which way.
All right, you made a very, very strong point there. Let me go across to Lieutenant General Raj Shukla. Sir, when you see this debate playing out, do you believe that an excerpt from a former army chief's book, quoting it, is perhaps not giving the entire picture? A, do you believe it's time the book comes out, given that there is a conversation around it, that everybody gets to read the book first? If the book is out, this conversation would be redundant.
Also, do books written by retired army personnel, do they get vetted so much? When do you expect the book to come out?
So, before I get to that, just let me make a couple of points. One is, while steering clear of the political slugfest, I'll stick to the civil-military relationship, those facets in this whole incident, because I think that is germane to national security. So very quickly, what happens in the aftermath of Galwan, May 2020, we occupy the Kailash Ridge, 31st August 2022. PLA moves tanks. Northern Command recommends opening of artillery. General Narawane seeks political clearance for a possible contingency of opening fire. And the political leadership says कि आप वो करें जो आप उचित हैं. Now, in this caravan essay, General Narawane has no comments to make to the political leadership or on what the political leadership. All he says is that the hot potato was left to me. So see, my understanding of this is when you are saying aap wo kare jo uchit hai, you are saying what you deem fit. So that is extraordinary leverage. And what are the implicit aspects are, we respect your professional judgment completely. You are free to do what you like, what you think is appropriate. And also, may I say this, that the political responsibility is ours, because the buck has to stop with the political executive. Who else? Now there are parallels. So the parallels are equally interesting. Operation Parakram. General Padmanabhan is told by Mr. Vajpayee, and when he asks him, what do we do when you order us to mobilize? He says, aap chaliye, hum batayenge. Now see the nature, that is how the politician speaks. The art of generalship is to draw operational inferences from the ambiguity. The politician is not trained to deliver orders like a military man. 4 phases, phase 1 you will attack. I mean, that's not the way it's going to happen. Let me give you one more example.
Let me nudge you a little bit.
This is military to military. I mean, just 1 minute because I think it's very interesting. 1971, General Arora in Eastern Command tells Sagat Singh, the corps commander, because he's a very aggressive corps commander, he tells him, Sagat, you will not cross the Meghna. And Sagat arrives on the banks of the Meghna. He's the first person to arrive. He's the corps commander. And the army commander tells him, Sagat, you recall I told you you will not cross the Meghna? Now look what the corps commander tells the army commander. He says, sir, I'm a corps commander. I see opportunity across and Dhaka beyond. I'm crossing at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now these are, not done in this very clerical, routine fashion. You take risks. This is how operations actually play out. You are not going to have, goody boys obey. It has to be understood in that context. One more example. 1947.
Let me get in Rashid Kidwai here. Rashid, what do you think of this? This clearly, now I want to read this book. I don't know why it's still not out, but how do you see Parliament session proceeding from here on?
I think it's very difficult because there is a lot of trust deficit. I must compliment General Shukla for, calling spade a spade and showing mirror to society. See, the BJP, it is absolutely, double speak on the part of BJP to be saying that they all along from, Nehru's handling of China to, Indira Gandhi, Manik Shah, they always quote, journals to, belittle that Nehru Gandhi, Prime Minister and their political legacy. Just that, General Ramne has made an innocuous comment. Basically, what we say in Hindi, chor ki dadi mein tinka. There is something that the BJP is very sensitive about when it comes to matters of national security. Because a very carefully curated, narrative, they don't want it to be demolished.
Okay.
That's the long and short of it.
All right, long and short of it. General Shukla, you wanted to make a quick point before I go to Mohan Kumar Mangalam and get closing.
One point. That in this whole episode, there is neither cause for complaint, nor is there any indication of grievance on the part of General Ramne.
All right.
Now, these slants will be given in a political environment. Let me say this. General Ramne now raises some good issues. What are those good issues? It is also my belief that in real operational situations, China study group, bodies like this cannot intervene. What was the CDS created for? There should be a clear-cut chain of command from the chief to the CDS to the political executive. Now, when he suggests, at least the Caravan essay says that he suggests that these reforms should take place, of course they should take place. So I'm saying that General Ramne himself has indicated no grievance. जो उचित समझें आप करें is political freedom of the highest order. So what is the real controversy about? I really don't understand. And I've given you examples from history how these things will always happen.
But I'm running completely out of time on the conversation. Mohan Kumar Mangalam, very briefly, are you making politics out of an excerpt which is not necessarily yielding to the allegations that you made? Very brief response, and after that, Rohan.
Meera, I can't even tell you if we're making politics of it because we're not even being allowed to deliver it. Frankly, it's one part of an entire speech. We're not even going to get past the first part of the speech because of how scared the BJP is. If anyone's making politics of it, much to their own detriment, it's the ruling party.
Absolutely. Point taken. Rohan Gupta, what is the BJP scared of? Why can't it let the leader of opposition speak? That's the allegation.
See, being not allowed to speak itself is the politics of Congress party because they have nothing to speak on budget. They just want to play the victim card. And again, you have rightly said, General Narvane's statement is not against the government. So why we should be worried? So I think it is the compulsion of Congress party because they have nothing to speak against budget and they just want to play the
Tushar Gupta, closing
not
remarks.
Successful.
My simple remark is that the article has been read by whoever wanted to read it. People have drawn their perceptions. People have drawn their conclusions. I think both the parties really need to move on from this debate, settle it the way they best think, aligning with the rules of the parliament. That's simple.
Let's hope that tomorrow is another day in parliament. Let's see what happens there. Of course, there will be a protest at Makar Dwar. That Vasudha will be bright and early in the morning ready to cover.
And I hope there are no more suspensions.
Inside parliament as well. But we'll take a very short break, Vasudha. When we come back, much more.
आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा, अपार ने आईएनएस विक्रांत के लिए 150 से ज्यादा तरह के केबल्स बनाए हैं। देश के टॉर्पीडोस में भी हैं अपार के केबल्स। वंदे भारत भी अपार के केबल से ही स्पीड पकड़ती है और यही वायर्स और केबल्स हमारे घरों को भी पावर करते हैं। विश्वास इसमें अपार, तभी तो ये है देश का तार।
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल। इट इज आवर फ्लैगशिप ऑयल।
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं। इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से।
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में। पी मार्क, द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933।
बरसों से सरसों।
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig, until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
लोग कहते हैं कि जिंदगी एक फिल्म की तरह होती है, लेकिन मेरी जिंदगी सिर्फ एक फिल्म नहीं, एक ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्म है। बचपन से पता था मेरे सपनों में दम है, आगे नहीं सबसे आगे जाना है, स्टार नहीं सुपरस्टार बन के दिखाना है। नाम मिला, फेम मिला, प्यार मिला, I was not just running, I was flying। सबकी जुबां पे बस एक ही नाम, यो हनी सिंगर। लेकिन फिर ब्लॉकबस्टर कहानी में आया एक ट्विस्ट, 7वें आसमान से सीधा गिरा मैं जमीन पर। फिर क्या, खुद पे काम दोबारा शुरू, फैंस ने फिर प्यार दिखाया, फिर स्टार नहीं सुपरस्टार बनाया। है ना मेरी जिंदगी एक ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्म। शुक्रिया आपकी प्रेयर्स का और आपके प्यार का। कॉन्सर्ट्स तो आपने बहुत देखे होंगे, बट दिस इज गोना बी कॉन्सर्ट ऑफ अ लाइफटाइम, क्योंकि मेरे फैंस ही हैं मेरी विक्ट्री, मेरी हिस्ट्री, मेरी ग्लोरी। सो कम एंड विटनेस Yo Honey Singh, this is my story.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसपे।
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
BJP double engine সরকার এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your automate.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity.
2024 Indian Congress. 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 20
Welcome back. West Bengal Chief Minister and TMC Chairperson Mamata Banerjee interacted with journalists in New Delhi today, and she has levelled some very serious allegations on the centre, the BJP, claiming that they are misusing the Election Commission of India, and specifically questioned the timing of the SIR process, the deletion in it, and also the appointment of observers and micro-observers in the state of West Bengal. She said that genuine voters, including women who changed surnames after marriage and people with spelling variations in their names, are being flagged as mismatches and stripped of their voting rights.
That's right. Banerjee also accused the Election Commission of acting in a biased and insensitive manner, saying her delegation was insulted during a meeting with the Chief Election Commissioner. She argued that electoral roll revisions must be transparent, humane, and allow due process, especially for marginalized groups. The controversy has sharpened political tensions around the SIR exercise, while the TMC framing it as a fight to protect democratic rights and the sanctity of the vote. Remember, the parliament session is on. Bengal elections are likely to get announced soon, so the political rhetoric will only get escalated. Let's listen in to that, what she said, and go across to Jayanta Ghoshal stand and make sense of West Bengal politics.
From there, they are going to delete all the names, about 2 crores. Now we 58 lakhs already deleted. Now 1 crore 4 lakhs is what earlier it is said logical discrepancies when Supreme Court said that list should be there, proper list. After that they changed the name like this, mismatch, mismap, like this.
हम लोग इम्पीचमेंट का ले आएगा चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर का, जो माने जिस तरीका से वो SIR कर रहे हैं और उस तरीका का गलत है, और पीपल्स का, हर देश का पूरा नागरिक का वोटर राइट को अफेक्ट कर देते हैं. वो नहीं चाहता है कोई वोटर रहे. हाँ, तो इसलिए हम लोग उनका जो इल मोटिव है उसका अगेंस्ट में हम लोग इम्पीचमेंट का चिंता किया है. हम लोग बात भी कर रहे हैं, बात करने से
Jayanta Ghoshal joins us now. Jayanta, I was part of that interaction today when I've asked her this question, if like-minded opposition leaders will also be supporting her, including MK Stalin and Akhilesh Yadav. She said that West Bengal is being specifically targeted with some very special rules like appointment of observers and micro-observers. I want to ask you, is Mamata Banerjee's SIR narrative, the campaign against ECI, is it finding any resonance in electoral Bengal?
Yeah, Vasudha, I think it's a very pre-planned, calculated move of Mamata Banerjee. It's not because for the pretty long time, now the battle is between Election Commission versus state government. So Mamata took the decision that she will go because Abhishek Banerjee, he is member of parliament. He is the parliamentary party leader of TMC in Lok Sabha. But you know, battle is now state government versus election commission. And now the deletion of the voters, already state BJP leaders like Shubhendu Adhikari, already he has said before election commission's announcement that maximum 2 crore, minimum 1 crore could be deleted from the voter list. Now, I think Mamata Banerjee, number one, this is the politics of to get the victim status, that election commission is doing this deliberately, and the apprehension of 356. Now Kalyan Banerjee is saying about the impeachment, but the inside TMC there is an apprehension that election commission cannot finish the voter list revision in the scheduled constitutional time.
Right.
Because you have to form the government in May.
Right.
So step 1, step 2, step 3, I think this is a very calculated
It's a
move.
charged.
And sorry, yeah.
It's a charged political environment. I know there are much to talk about West Bengal, and we'll do that over a period of time, but we're running completely short of time today, Vasudha. But of course, this conversation and the SIR narrative in West Bengal, interestingly, not in other, as powerful in the state of Tamil Nadu or in Kerala as it is in West Bengal. So let's see how that plays out. We'll take a very short break now. Thanks very much, Jayanta.
Thank you.
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल. इट इज आवर फ्लैगशिप ऑयल.
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं. इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से.
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी.
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में. पी मार्क, द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933.
बरसों से सरसों.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, ऐसे मत कीजिए. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship, the line of control, Shivarur, NDTV.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Master Stroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
M3M presents NDTV Master Stroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you are doing.
I have always had this inclination towards art, and if we don't collaborate and bring those artists forward, give them a platform, who else will?
Honoring the masters who define our cultural landscape, M3M presents NDTV Master Stroke Art Awards. On the NDTV network, the front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area.
North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
लोग कहते हैं कि जिंदगी एक फिल्म की तरह होती है, लेकिन मेरी जिंदगी
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
Well, the showdown in Parliament intends for day 2 as Rahul Gandhi again tried to read out excerpts from General M.M. Narwane's book on the India-China standoff, accusing the government. 8 Congress MPs suspended for throwing papers at the chair. Rahul Gandhi attacks the government over the India-US trade deal, says the Prime Minister was under pressure, sold out the country. The government sources say farmers' interests remain protected. Piyush Goyal to brief Parliament. Mamata Banerjee's plea against the Election Commission regarding the SIR process is listed tomorrow for hearing in the Supreme Court. Mamata Banerjee to be present during the SIR hearing in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court's big exit India warning to Meta over WhatsApp privacy, says Meta can't play with the privacy rights in the country in the name of data sharing. Welcome back. Call this a judicial twist, Vasudha, to the conversation on Hindi imposition in Tamil Nadu. The conversation and the DMK stand on it has got support from unexpected quarters, this time from a sitting High Court Judge, Justice Anand Venkatesh.
That's right, Vida. Citing his son's ignorance about the history of language agitation in Tamil Nadu, the judge underscored the importance of understanding this bit of history. This after he watched with his son the recent film Parasakti that deals with the subject. Listen in to Justice Anand Venkatesh.
மொழியில முக்கியம் மதிப்பெண் எடுக்கிறது இல்ல, மொழி மூச்சுன்னு தெரியறது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். நம்மளுடைய உயிர்னு தெரியறது வந்து நம்ம மதிப்பெண்ணா கொடுக்க முடியாது. அது நம்மளுடைய மூச்சு, அதுதான் நம்மளுடைய ஐடென்டிட்டி. அதை விட நம்மளுக்கு மதிப்பெண் முக்கியமா போனதுனால பள்ளி பாட திட்டத்துல செகண்ட் லாங்குவேஜ் இடத்துல வேறு பல மொழிகள் ஆக்கிரமிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருச்சு. அதனால மாணவர்கள் தமிழ்ல அவங்களுடைய எக்ஸ்போஷர் அது அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா குறைய ஆரம்பிச்சு இன்னைக்கு இந்த நிலைமையில வந்து நிற்கிறோம். ஆங்கிலம் தெரியாமல் தமிழ்நாட்டை தாண்ட முடியாது என்று எங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் தெரியும். தமிழன் மற்ற மொழிகளை எதிர்க்கவும் இல்லை, மாறாக அவன் விரும்பி படிக்கவும் செய்கிறான். என் மொழியின் தொன்மையின் காரணமாக, எனக்கு இருக்கும் என் மொழி செருக்கின் காரணமாக மற்றவர்கள் ஒரு மொழியை என் மீது திணித்தால் அதை நான் என்றுமே ஏற்க மாட்டேன்.
Well, it's an emotive issue, Vasudha, but also one that needs a substantive conversation and one that needs an intellectual conversation on it, and obviously one that needs a passionate conversation as well.
That's right. I'm just reminded of what Kamal Hassan told you in the NDTV Tamil Nadu Summit. Most of me is my language, because language is not just culture, it's also language and its identity till it becomes it doesn't evolve into something like chauvinism.
That's right. It's incumbent upon us to pass on the knowledge and the language to the next generation, and perhaps that's the core of it all. That's all we have time for on the Southern View this evening.
With that, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand. Motorola Signature, India's #1 camera phone. Grab Motorola Signature today.
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल. इट इज आवर flagship oil.
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं। इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से।
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में। P Mark, the mustard specialist since 1933.
बरसों से सरसों।
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
The NDTV Golf Pro-Am, in partnership with PGTI, comes to you from the heart of South Mumbai at the historic Willingdon Sports Club. The city's classic layout provides the ideal canvas as India's finest golfers share the fairways with the country's top corporate leaders, Mumbai style. Watch at these times.
को यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा!
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamta's fortress?
टीएमसी जावे, बीजेपी आसमे।
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
बीजेपी डबल इंजिन सरकार ए लड़ाई बास्ते होबे।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. only on NDTV network.